Hey, Sea Life friends and family. Man, I'm so glad that you're joining us and that you're involved in some group discussion around what we talked about this week. You know, this past Sunday we started a brand new series, and it's about how we can make better decisions. And really the key to making better decisions is to ask better questions. If you ask better questions, you'll make better decisions. And so this week we started this 5-week series, and we focused really in on one question. And that question is, what is the wise thing for me to do? What is the wise thing for me to do? You know, generally the question we ask is, what can I get away with? Like, what is the closest I can get to the edge and not go over the edge? What's the closest I can come to destroying my life without destroying my life? But the better question, in fact, the best question, is what is the wise thing for me to do? And it's really based on this passage in Ephesians chapter 5, verses 15 and 16, where it says, "Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil." And so the Apostle Paul tells us in Ephesians 5, and he's gone through a lot. At that point, he's been talking about doctrine. And then he comes to chapter 5, and it becomes way more practical. And he tells us, because of all this truth about God, that we should be careful with how we live. We ought to make wise choices. And oftentimes, again, what we focus on is it right or is it wrong? Or is it sin or is it not sin? In fact, I get asked that question so often, like, hey, do you think it's sin to do so-and-so? Do you think it's sin for me to do this? And oftentimes what I want to say is, well, does it have to be sin for you not to do it? I mean, does it have to be sin? Can't some things just be stupid? Like, would stupid be a qualification that would keep you from doing it? And so this question is in light of my past circumstances. In other words, we've all got past experiences that bring with them some baggage into our present. My past circumstances, or my past experiences, my present circumstances, or my future hopes and dreams. What is the wise thing for me to do? And I love this verse in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, 23. The Apostle Paul writes to us, and he says, all things are permissible. In other words, for a believer, we're not under the law anymore. Because of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, our sins have been paid for. So he says, all things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial. And so during your group time, it may be a great opportunity for you to talk about what would really be great is to share some things that, some choices that you've made in the past that may or may not have been sin, but they were just dumb. They just weren't wise choices. And as well, maybe it's a good opportunity to talk about some decisions that you're weighing and figure out what would be the matrix for discussing whether or not these would be wise choices for you in this day and time. I hope you have some great discussion around these topics and that the Lord's able to work in your heart and help you figure out some things, help you discern some things as you talk about these together. God bless you.